My correspondent Mohammed Ador is live for us in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. Mo, what are the expectations from this meeting?
Well, Elizabeth, President Salva Kiir is expected to arrive here in Addis Ababa any time from now. His opponent and former deputy Riek Machar is already in the country. He arrived last evening. The two men will separately meet the Ethiopian Prime Minister Haile Mariam Desalegn, where they are going to talk about what they want to talk about and what they don't want to talk about before they will come here to the venue of the talks, the Sheraton Addis Ababa. It will be the first contact Salva Kiir and his former deputy president Riek Machar will have since the violence began in December. Now, many people here are not optimistic that the two leaders will come to an agreement today, largely because of the issues that are at stake. But however, if they can only agree on a process, not only to end the fighting, but also the conflict, that will be seen as a positive step.
Mo, Jan's ceasefire agreement between the two parties didn't hold. You mentioned the stakes. They are so much higher now, so many more people killed, displaced. What do you feel is different this time?
Well, what we feel is different, and what the mediators feel is different, is that these are the two leaders, the topmost leaders of the two sides in the conflict in South Sudan. The talks have been going on here in Addis Ababa since January, but they have not achieved much. The ceasefire agreement that was signed is in tatters and has not been respected by both sides, and the violence still goes on in South Sudan. There is a feeling by the mediators and also the United Nations and the US government, who have been putting a lot of pressure on both sides in the conflict in South Sudan, that if Salva Kiir, the president of South Sudan, and Riek Machar can come together and at least draw the process with which they want an agreement to go, then it is highly likely that the peace process would be successful. And that's why they have brought the two leaders to Addis Ababa to talk. There is a feeling that the people who've been discussing and negotiating over the last 3 or 4 months do not have as much gravitas as the two leaders, and it's only what they want that is finally going to hold water.
Thank you very much for that, Mo. That's our correspondent Mohammed Ador joining us from the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa.